Let me ask you a question. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start when the time is right? Be honest. You've said it about your dreams, your goals, your relationships, maybe even your purpose. But here's the truth. The right time doesn't exist. It's a myth. And every day you spend waiting for it is a day you lose to doubt, fear, and hesitation. The illusion of perfect timing is one of the greatest traps of inaction. We convince ourselves that the stars need to align before we take that first step. I'll start when I'm ready. But here's the irony. You don't become ready by waiting. You become ready by starting. You're not waiting on time. Time is waiting on you. The fear you feel, the doubts you wrestle with, they're not signs you should stop. They're proof that what you're about to do matters. Because if it didn't, there wouldn't be so much resistance in your heart. Fear is the companion of significance. It shows up when the stakes are high. What if I told you that the tools, the strength, and the wisdom you need to take the next step are already within you? Right now, not someday. Right here, not after the next paycheck or the next opportunity. The journey doesn't begin when everything feels perfect. It begins when you take the first imperfect step and trust that clarity will come as you move forward. You see, action isn't just the antidote to procrastination, it's the catalyst for transformation. That dream of yours isn't waiting for a better time, it's waiting for a bolder you. And the cost of waiting is far too great. Every day you delay is a day of missed opportunities, lessons, and growth. So stop waiting for the right conditions, the perfect plan, or a sign from the heavens. You don't need a guarantee of success to begin. You need faith in the process, trust in your potential, and courage to step out despite the unknown. The right time isn't coming. It's already here. It's now. Stop waiting. Start moving. The moment you've been waiting for is the one you create. The illusion of perfect timing is one of the greatest obstacles to progress and fulfillment. It's a belief rooted in hesitation and fear, a subtle but powerful narrative we tell ourselves that keeps us from taking action. How many times have you thought, I'll start when the time is right? It feels safe, doesn't it? It feels logical. But in reality, it's an illusion, a mirage in the distance that keeps shifting further away the closer you try to get to it. The perfect time doesn't exist, and waiting for it is one of the easiest ways to remain stuck. We often associate readiness with external circumstances, having more resources, more knowledge, more support, or less chaos in our lives. We say, I'll wait until I have more money, or I'll start when things calm down. But the truth is, no matter how much we wait, there will always be some level of uncertainty. Life is inherently unpredictable. If you're waiting for the absence of challenges or difficulties, you'll be waiting forever. This illusion of perfect timing isn't just about external factors, it's also deeply connected to our internal state. Many of us believe we need to feel completely confident or fully prepared before we can act. We think that the absence of doubt is a prerequisite for moving forward. But here's the reality. Confidence doesn't precede action, it follows it. You won't feel fully ready because growth requires stepping into the unknown. It's in taking the first steps, despite uncertainty, that you build the strength and clarity you're waiting to feel. The problem with waiting for the right time is that it often masks deeper fears. It can be fear of failure, fear of judgment, or even fear of success. By telling ourselves that conditions aren't right, we avoid confronting these fears. It becomes easier to blame circumstances than to face the vulnerability of taking action. But what we fail to see is that inaction carries its own risks. Every moment spent waiting is a moment of lost opportunity. The dreams you're postponing today won't wait for you forever. Another reason the idea of perfect timing is so seductive is that it feels like a form of preparation. We convince ourselves that we're being responsible by waiting, that we're carefully planning for a better moment. But more often than not, this isn't preparation, it's procrastination disguised as wisdom. There's a fine line between genuine preparation and avoidance, and the key to discerning the difference lies in being honest with yourself. Are you genuinely laying the groundwork for your next step, or are you simply stalling out of fear? Here's what's liberating, though. The perfect time to start is now. Not because everything is ideal or because you feel 100% ready, but because the present moment is the only time you truly have control over. The conditions may not be flawless and you may not have every detail figured out, but action creates momentum. It's through taking those imperfect steps forward that you discover what you're capable of. Clarity, resources, and opportunities often show up after you begin, not before. By embracing the imperfection of the present moment, you release yourself from the shackles of hesitation. You begin to understand that progress doesn't require perfection, it requires persistence. The act of starting, even if it's messy or uncertain, is what propels you toward growth. Waiting for the right time is like standing on the shore, waiting for the tide to turn perfectly in your favor. But the reality is, the tide is always moving, and you must learn to navigate its currents as they come. In the end, the illusion of perfect timing is just that, an illusion. The conditions will never be perfect, but they don't have to be. What matters is your willingness to act despite the imperfections, to take that first step even when the road ahead isn't fully clear. The time you've been waiting for is not a moment in the future. It's the moment you decide to move forward right here and now. Let go of the illusion and take hold of the present. It's all you need to begin. Fear is one of the most powerful forces that holds us back from stepping into our potential. It whispers doubts in our minds, amplifies the risks, and creates an endless list of reasons why now isn't the right time to act. But here's the thing about fear, it's not the absence of ability or opportunity that keeps us paralyzed, it's the absence of faith. To overcome fear, you must replace it with faith, a deep belief in what's possible, even when you can't see the whole path ahead. Fear thrives in uncertainty. It loves to magnify the unknown, making it feel bigger and scarier than it truly is. It tells you that if you step out, you might fail, that you'll be judged, or that you're not ready. Fear is relentless in its attempts to convince you that playing small is safer than taking risks. But the reality is, staying still isn't as safe as it seems. It comes with its own dangers, the danger of stagnation, missed opportunities, and unfulfilled potential. The question is not whether you'll face fear, but whether you'll let it rule your decisions. This is where faith comes in. Faith isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to move forward despite it. Faith is the belief that something greater is possible, that the steps you take, no matter how small, have the power to lead you towards something extraordinary. It's trusting that even though you can't see the entire staircase, the next step will appear as you move forward. Faith doesn't eliminate the challenges, but it shifts your focus from what could go wrong to what could go right. One of the most profound truths about fear is that it often points directly toward the things that matter most. You don't feel fear over things that are insignificant. The fear you experience is often a signal that you're standing at the threshold of something meaningful. Instead of letting fear stop you, learn to see it as an indicator that you're on the edge of growth. The key is to respond to fear not with retreat, but with faith. Faith is not just a feeling, it's a choice. It's choosing to trust in your potential, even when you feel inadequate. It's choosing to believe that you are equipped with everything you need to take the first step, even if you don't yet see the full picture. Faith isn't blind optimism. It's a grounded confidence that the journey itself will provide the lessons, resources, and strength you need to succeed. Faith is what allows you to walk into the unknown, Not because you're certain of the outcome, but because you're certain of your ability to adapt and grow along the way. Fear will always try to keep you waiting. It will say, what if you fail? What if you're not good enough? What if this isn't the right time? But faith answers back, what if I succeed? What if I learn? What if this is exactly the moment I've been preparing for? Fear asks you to wait until you're ready. Faith invites you to step out and grow as you go. Fear demands guarantees. Faith thrives on possibilities. When you choose faith over fear, you shift your perspective. Instead of seeing obstacles, you start to see opportunities. Instead of focusing on what you lack, you begin to recognize the resources and strengths already within you. Faith empowers you to take bold action even when the outcome is uncertain. It frees you from the paralysis of overthinking and moves you toward the life you were meant to live. Overcoming fear with faith doesn't mean you won't feel afraid. It means you won't let fear dictate your actions. It means you'll trust the process, embrace the uncertainty, and keep moving forward. Fear may never completely disappear, but with faith it loses its power. The choice is yours. Let fear hold you back or let faith propel you forward. Choose faith and watch how it transforms your life, one courageous step at a time. Action is the key to unlocking clarity. It's a concept that seems counterintuitive at first because so many of us believe we need to have everything figured out before we begin. We think we need a flawless plan, a clear vision, and the perfect strategy before we take the first step. But the truth is, clarity doesn't come before action, it comes because of it. When you move, when you act, the fog starts to lift and the path ahead becomes visible. Sitting still and waiting for understanding only deepens the uncertainty. The reality is that life rarely provides you with a complete roadmap. More often than not, you have to take the first step without knowing exactly where it will lead. This can be intimidating, but it's also liberating. Action has a way of revealing what planning alone cannot. It shows you what works, what doesn't, and what adjustments are needed. Even mistakes become valuable lessons when you're in motion. The process of doing generates insights that thinking alone never will. One of the most significant barriers to action is the fear of making the wrong choice. We get caught up in the what ifs. What if I choose the wrong path? What if I fail? What if I'm not ready? But here's the truth. Inaction is a choice too. And it often leads to far greater regret than a misstep ever could. You can't steer a parked car. You have to start moving for any adjustments to be possible. The beauty of action is that it's self-correcting. Even if you take a wrong turn, the act of moving forward equips you with the knowledge and experience to course correct. Taking action, even in uncertainty, is like lighting a candle in a dark room. The light may not illuminate the entire space immediately, but it allows you to see enough to take the next step. And with each step, your vision becomes clearer. Clarity grows incrementally. It's not something you wait for, it's something you earn through movement. The insights you need are often hidden in the act of doing, not in the act of waiting. Another remarkable aspect of action is that it builds momentum. The first step is always the hardest, but once you take it, you set a chain reaction in motion. Each small action leads to the next, and before you know it, you're moving in ways you never thought possible. Momentum creates confidence, and confidence fuels more action. This cycle of progress is what ultimately leads to clarity and success. Action also has a way of quieting the noise in your mind. When you're stuck in inaction, your mind tends to overanalyze, overthink, and create problems that don't even exist yet. But when you're engaged in doing, your focus shifts to the task at hand. You stop fixating on what might go wrong and start focusing on what you can do right now. This shift in perspective can be transformative. It's not about eliminating uncertainty, but learning to operate within it. You don't need to have all the answers to start. What you need is the courage to take the first step, trusting that the answers will come as you go. Each step you take brings new perspectives, new opportunities, and new solutions that you couldn't have predicted before you began. Even setbacks and failures are part of this process. They teach you, refine you, and guide you closer to your goals. Without action, none of this growth is possible. Clarity is a gift you give yourself by being willing to act. It's not about waiting until the picture is perfect. It's about starting with the pieces you have and trusting that the rest will come together along the way. Don't wait for the fog to clear before you move. Step into the fog, and you'll find that each step lights the way. Action brings clarity, and clarity brings progress. The journey to understanding begins with movement, so don't wait, start now. Your potential is not a distant destination waiting for some future version of yourself to arrive. It's not something that will magically appear when the circumstances are perfect or when you finally feel ready. Your potential is alive and active in this very moment. It exists in the now, not in some far-off time or place. Yet so often we fall into the trap of believing that we need more time, more resources, or more preparation before we can fully tap into it. This mindset not only delays progress, but blinds us to the opportunities and abilities already within our grasp. One of the most significant barriers to realizing your potential is the belief that you are somehow incomplete as you are. You might think, if only I had more experience, or once I achieve this, I'll be ready. But the truth is, you are equipped with everything you need to start right now. The skills you lack will be developed along the way. The experience you think you need will come as a result of stepping out. The resources you're waiting for will begin to materialize as you move forward. Waiting for some mythical future version of yourself to appear only postpones your growth. Potential is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about recognizing that you don't have to be flawless to begin. In fact, it's the act of beginning that unlocks your potential. Too often we put conditions on ourselves. I'll do this when I feel more confident, or I'll start when things settle down. But the perfect moment never arrives, and every day spent waiting is a day your potential remains untapped. Your capacity to grow, learn, and achieve exists in this very moment, but it requires you to take action. Living in the now means embracing the present moment with all its imperfections and uncertainties. It means acknowledging that the conditions may not be ideal, but choosing to act anyway. This is where growth happens, not in the waiting, but in the doing. The now is where you take risks, make mistakes, and learn from them. It's where you discover strengths you didn't know you had and develop skills you never imagined you could master. Your potential doesn't wait for you to feel ready. It responds to your willingness to start. One of the most empowering truths about potential is that it grows as you engage with it. Think of it like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. But if you leave it untouched, it remains stagnant. The opportunities you have today may look small or insignificant, but they are the stepping stones to something greater. Every action you take, no matter how small, is a way of exercising your potential. Each step forward builds momentum and opens new doors that wouldn't have been visible if you had stayed still. Another key to unlocking your potential in the now is shifting your perspective. Instead of focusing on what you lack or what's missing, focus on what you have. What strengths, skills, and resources do you already possess? What opportunities are available to you right now? When you begin to look at the present moment through this lens, you'll realize that there's more within your reach than you initially thought. The path forward doesn't require perfection. It requires the decision to move with what you have. Your potential is not something to be found. It's something to be activated. It's not about waiting for the stars to align or for a better version of yourself to emerge. It's about recognizing that you are enough right now to begin. Each moment you spend waiting for the right time is a moment of untapped growth. The only thing standing between you and the next level of your potential is the decision to act. So stop waiting for tomorrow, next week, or next year. Stop waiting for the perfect conditions, the perfect plan, or the perfect you. The only thing that matters is the choice you make today. Your potential is here in this moment, ready for you to engage with it. Don't let the fear of imperfection or the lure of procrastination hold you back. The time to step into your potential is not later, it's now. The cost of delay is one of the most overlooked barriers to growth and success. We often convince ourselves that waiting is harmless, that putting off action until tomorrow, next week, or next year doesn't really matter. But the truth is, every delay carries a cost that compounds over time. While you may not feel it immediately, the opportunities lost, the momentum stalled, and the progress unmade add up to a significant price. Delay is not neutral. It's an active decision to stay still. And it comes with consequences that can be far-reaching and irreversible. Every moment you spend waiting is a moment you can't get back. Time is the most finite resource we have, and yet it's the one we often take for granted. Unlike money or material possessions, time cannot be replenished. The hours, days, and years you spend delaying your goals are gone forever, and with them go the opportunities for growth, learning, and impact. What could you have achieved if you started a year ago? What skills could you have developed? What relationships could you have built? Delay robs you of these possibilities, leaving you with only the regret of what might have been. The cost of delay also extends to your momentum. Starting is hard, but staying still is even harder in the long run. Momentum is what drives progress, and it's built through consistent action. When you delay, you disrupt the flow of momentum, making it even more challenging to start again. Think of a car at a standstill. It takes significant energy to get it moving, but once it's in motion, it requires far less effort to keep going. Every time you delay, you're putting yourself back at the starting line where the effort to begin feels overwhelming. Delay not only affects your external progress, but also takes a toll on your mindset. Procrastination breeds self-doubt and anxiety. The longer you wait, the more daunting the task appears, and the more you begin to question your ability to succeed. Delay creates a mental spiral where fear and doubt grow stronger, making it even harder to take action. Conversely, when you take even a small step forward, you build confidence and reduce the power of fear. Action, no matter how small, breaks the cycle of hesitation and empowers you to keep moving. Another significant cost of delay is the missed opportunities that arise in the present. Opportunities are often fleeting. They appear for a moment and then disappear. Waiting for the right time to act means you risk missing out on windows of possibility that may never open again. Perhaps it's a career opportunity, a chance to connect with someone influential, or the ability to make a difference in someone's life. These opportunities don't wait, they come and go, and your readiness to act determines whether you seize them or let them slip away. Delay also impacts the lives of those around you. Your actions or lack thereof don't occur in isolation. When you hold back from pursuing your goals or stepping into your purpose, you're not just delaying your growth, you're also withholding the positive impact you could have on others. Whether it's a business idea, a creative project, or a personal decision, your actions have the potential to inspire, help, and uplift those around you. Delaying your progress means delaying the ripple effect of your contributions to the world. The cost of delay is not just about what you lose, it's about what you could have gained. It's about the version of yourself you could have become, the skills you could have mastered, and the dreams you could have realized. Each day spent delaying is a day that moves you further from these possibilities. It's easy to underestimate this cost in the short term, but over time, the cumulative effect becomes undeniable. The solution is simple, but not always easy. Act now. Don't let the fear of imperfection or the comfort of waiting keep you from moving forward. The price of delay is too high and the rewards of action are too great to ignore. The time you've been waiting for isn't in the future, it's here, in this moment. Start now and let the momentum carry you toward the life you're meant to live. Trusting the journey rather than the conditions is one of the most transformative mindsets you can adopt. Life is unpredictable, and the conditions we face are often far from ideal. Yet it's easy to fall into the trap of believing that we can only move forward when everything lines up perfectly. This mindset creates paralysis as we wait for a time when circumstances feel safe, certain, and convenient. The truth is that moment may never come. Growth, success, and fulfillment aren't found in perfect conditions. They're found in trusting the process, even when the path ahead is unclear. The journey of life is rarely linear. It's filled with twists, turns, setbacks, and surprises. If you expect every step to be smooth, you'll be constantly disappointed and tempted to give up. But when you trust the journey, you accept that the challenges and uncertainties are not obstacles, they're part of the process. The difficulties you face aren't roadblocks. They're the very experiences that shape your growth and equip you for what lies ahead. Trusting the journey means embracing these moments as opportunities to learn, adapt, and strengthen your resolve. Conditions will always fluctuate. Some days will be full of energy and opportunity, while others will feel heavy with obstacles and doubt. If you base your actions solely on the conditions,